Alright, hello everyone.
Hello, guys.
Alright, so we are back on 428 Shibuya Scramble. Just as a reminder, this is a special stream because I think that we decided that we weren't going to stream on Thursday for Christmas Eve. Um,
Yeah.
I think that we're going to try to do Monday streams for the next 2 weeks. So Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve will take off so that we can celebrate with the people in our lives. Weird.
Hey. Ew, what's that?
I know. So we are back. So what did we do last time? The big things that we figured out are we did Minorikawa. So basically, we stopped Toyama from killing himself. Ran in, found out that his daughter was out getting a hose so that he could kill himself, also with the radiator, which was a lot of fun to find out. Anyways, come to find out, Toyama is in a shit ton of debt, needs to put out the next issue of 4-Star General Gossip, which is his magazine, and all of his writers deserted him. So, we have taken the case. We brought on our assistant, who is afraid of talking to people, and we just sent out there. But we got one of our things done, so, I think we've got 5 more to go. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll fix our mistakes or whatever.
We fixed Tama's stuff a little bit, so we found out how she ended up in the cat suit.
Best girl alive.
Best girl. Yeah, so basically, she went to go buy this necklace, found out she didn't have enough money, and then Yanagi, I don't remember what the last kanji of his name is, whatever the fuck his name is, asked us to model for the day. So, that's why we're in the cat suit. And Achi, we ran from the guy with the gun. That was scary. Then, oh, that's right, we were looking for the blue van. We ended up seeing the blue van, and then beat the shit out of the guys that came out of it, but the blue van got away because they were making a scene. So, that's what happened last time. So, we can either do Kano, we can do Osawa, or we can finish up Tama. Who would you like to do first?
Let's see. Let's start with kitty cats, because everyone likes kitty cats.
Alright, let's do Tama. Somehow I managed to drag myself away from the shop. Just a few minutes later, I ran into Mr. Yanagashita.
Hey!
A voice said out of nowhere.
If you want, I can pay you 10,000 for a day's work.
I found myself staring at this frumpy, middle-aged man who was handing me his business card. Managing Director, Junichi Yanagashita, Yamato Health Foods Company Limited.
I'm in a real bind here. Need some extra help. I'm begging you, just one day.
He seemed pretty sketchy. As much as I needed money for that necklace, I wasn't going anywhere with some random weirdo. I ignored him and just tried to walk off.
Please, oh please.
Yanagashita grabbed me by the hand. Watch it, pal, I snapped. Hands off or I start shouting for help.
No, please, it's not like that. Just hear me out.
Look, I'm in a hurry.
Please, please, please.
Knock it off. I spun forcefully away from him, yanking my hand from his grip.
And I am telling you, I'm not going. Okay, I had to. Oof.
Yanagashita whirled through the air and fell into the bushes.
Oh, snap. Whoa, where'd that come from?
He gasped. His eyes were as wide as saucers.
You're a martial artist or something?
No, I I think that was just a fluke. The truth was, I was surprised myself at how well I'd pulled off that escape move.
Hmm. Okay, then. Look, I'm sorry. Can you give me a hand?
No way!
No, no. I mean, give me your hand. My hip's killing me here. Ow.
I guess. The least I could do was help the guy get to his feet. Look, why are you hounding me so much?
Please don't be angry. The moment I saw you, I just felt it. You're the only person who could possibly do the job for me.
I let out a sigh, but my interest was admittedly piqued. What kind of job?
Hopefully the one you don't regret. Uh, I need a sales rep for a health supplement. I want you to do PR as dieting success story for my product. Oh, just look at you. You have the body of an actress. Sales are gonna go through the roof.
Well, it was hard to feel too offended when he told me that. The job didn't seem as fishy as I'd initially suspected. All right, maybe I'm interested, I said. There's just one thing.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it.
I need 20,000 yen as soon as possible. So if the day only pays 10,000,
All right then. If you can sell 100 bottles at our sales event, I'll throw in another 10,000 as a bonus. How's that sound?
I certainly couldn't think of any other way I was going to earn 20,000 yen in a single day. This might be exactly the break I needed. You've got a deal. You have my services for the day, I said, bowing my head.
Oh hell yeah, girlfriend.
Yanagashita jumped for joy. What about your hip?
Oh, that old thing. It walked off on its own. I mean, yeah, it's better now. All better. Fix itself.
Yanagashita bowed deeply as I gave him a dubious look.
Look, I'm sorry.
He added hurriedly.
I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on you, honest. I was just scouting for talent, and I saw you, and well.
Was trusting this guy really the best idea? I was starting to worry just a little about whether he'd actually pay up.
Look, I've staked everything on this sales demo later today.
He went on.
This is the make or break opportunity of a lifetime.
Sure.
I'll be honest with you. I'm in a ton of debt. 2 million yen. 2 million.
Yanagashita's tone had taken on a feverish intensity.
If I don't pay it back by the end of the day, then boy howdy, I'm up in the creek without a paddle.
How did you even get into a situation like that? I asked. He gazed skyward, a far-off look in his eyes.
Mob shit. Drugs. I don't know. Because even... Oh, wait.
That's you.
Oh, yeah. Because even if he knows he has no chance of winning, sometimes a man just has to stand and fight. But I guess a girl like you wouldn't understand.
He laughed and smiled at his own words, but he was right. I sure as heck didn't understand in the slightest.
Tee. Anyway, real quick, would you put this on?
Mr. Yanagashita briskly rummaged through his spindle, then thrust a cat costume out toward me. What? Here?
Where else you gonna put on a cat suit? Yeah, before the sales event, you gotta hand out some samples. This job's already started, you know.
And with that, Mr. Yanagashita went about getting me into the mascot suit. Which is how I am now here, in a cat suit. And not the sexy kind. Looking back on it, it was a pretty ridiculous turn of events. Still, if I was going to get my hands on that necklace, I had to take the chance that this job would pay out.
I doubt we're going to be able to sell a single bottle of it. Oh, wait, that's Cheery. Damn it! Happens every time. I doubt we're going to be able to sell a single bottle of this crap.
Cheery whispers in my ear. I'll just have to do the best I can, I say. I say it more to myself than anyone else. Once again, I ask myself, why am I in such a rush to get this necklace anyway? I honestly don't know. It's the strangest thing. I try my hardest. I try my hardest to think of a reason, but all I get is a dull aching throb at the back of my head. It's the same pain as I felt earlier, as if I'd gotten a good bonk on the head or something. And we have hit our to be continued.
Oh, we
Because
did it.
this
We're
time,
best girl.
we didn't have Minorikawa come in and bust up the entire sales demo.
Ain't that great?
Okay, Osawa or Kano? Do we want to talk about viruses, or do we want to tail a dude on a train? And hopefully not die from burning hammer this time.
Let's try to fix the old doctor for now.
Alright.
It feels like he's distressed.
Alright. So it looks like we are going to make the decision about whether or not we want to call Makino again.
Mm-hmm.
So after a time, Osawa could feel himself growing calmer. He took a nice deep breath. Do we want to call it Makino again?
We decided to call him last time.
Yeah, so we
maybe
called him last time. That wasn't necessarily what got us the bad end, though.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because remember last time it was because the detectives told us that he told me had been kidnapped. And now that he told me has not been kidnapped, we have no idea what's going to happen.
True. Alright, we'll call up Makino again.
Alright. He took a nice deep breath, and then he dialed up Makino.
Ring, 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 phone call, phone call. Has there been any progress?
Makino asked as soon as he picked up. His voice was somber. No, Osawa said. Nothing much yet. A tiny sigh came in from the other side of the line.
I see. Then what can I do for you?
Sir, I'll just get right to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? Makino didn't respond right away.
What makes you think that?
He asked at last. Osawa described the emails he'd received. When he'd finished, Makino let out his breath in surprise.
Whew! Girl? Not over the phone,
he said.
We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done. Here.
As soon as possible, sir.
As soon as I can manage.
Makino said.
You're not the only person who's busy.
Asshole.
Bitch.
With that, so nice. Makino hung up. What the hell, man? There was no doubt about it then. There had been human testing. Osawa went to let Tanaka know he'd be meeting with Makino.
Mr. Osawa, are you going somewhere?
A stolid-looking man stood in the doorway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osawa to emerge. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the detectives from the Shibuya precinct. Yoshio Kajiwara is a detective with the Shibuya precinct's criminal investigation division. He's sociable but awkward, and despite his reserved personality, he can be quite unsettling. His colleagues at the precinct refer to him by nicknames such as Japanese Columbo and Little Ken Takakura, given his own quirky demeanor as a detective.
Oh my.
He struck Osawa as a bit too soft-spoken and meek for a detective, really. And his treatment of the kidnapping case gave an impression of flighty detachment that made him seem rather undependable. No, not really. Have there been any developments, detective? Kajiwara shook his head quietly.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what to tell you.
Kajiwara then slipped a hand into his suit pocket. He pulled out a banana. A banana is a
Banana is
highly
perfect.
a highly nutritious fruit belonging to family Musaceae, genus Musa. Because they contain a variety of different carbohydrates, bananas can provide long-lasting energy and are an optimal energy source when exercising. The famous slipperiness of banana peels is due to the oils in the inner part of their skin, but even if all of the oils were removed, slapstick comedians would still probably slip on them anyways.
Like champs. Are you hungry? These are good for when you're tired. Much better than that Snickers shit.
I'm fine, thanks, Osawa said. Kajiwara seemed to lack a detective's sense of situational awareness. Just being around him got on Osawa's nerves.
Same. I mean, well, sir, I need you to come with me,
The detective said.
if you don't mind.
He took Osawa by the arm. As
Now it's
Kajiwara...
time for the hoedown throat.
I know. As Kajiwara hurried him toward the living room, Osawa could hear the other detectives talking on the other side of the door.
He's working at a time like this. Seriously? Sheesh. I do not get rich people and their priorities. Yeah, I feel bad for his daughter. Her dad's a real piece of work.
Nice. They were bad-mouthing him in his own house. Bitches.
Oof.
The hell, man.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that.
Kajiwara said, pausing in embarrassment. Osawa pushed past him and opened the door. A number of police detectives had holed up in the living room. They went suddenly silent as Osawa entered. So tell me, he said sarcastically, would you rather I stay here weeping as I watch this disaster unfold? The detectives winced and grimaced. Forgive me for not being a perfect father, he added, his hostility building. Kajiwara stepped forward to intervene before things got out of hand.
Whoa there, partner. Now, let's not be touchy.
I am not being touchy, Osawa snapped. But he knew full well that he was. These guys had the time to sit around backbiting him, but not to go out and bring Maria to safety. Already close to half a day had gone by without any new developments. The ransom demand had come in the previous night at 8 o'clock. Maria had been abducted roughly an hour before. Tomorrow. Oh, I guess that's you now.
Oh, tomorrow, 10 a.m. by Hachiko at Shibuya. How's a sister? He told me, bring 50 million yen. Wow, I can read. If not, the girl's life is forfeit.
The kidnapper called only once, so the police were unable to run a trace.
I'll do it.
Hitomi said.
Anything for my sister.
She didn't hesitate in the slightest at the suggestion that she make the ransom handoff.
I volunteer as tribute!
Osawa was staunchly opposed to the idea, but the police were of the opinion that it was better to acquiesce to the kidnapper's demands. Ai's reaction, on the other hand, baffled nearly everyone.
We don't have 50 million just lying around. Are the police going to be putting that together for us?
Kajiwara stepped in to reassure her.
If it comes down to it, the police will be able to help raise the money. We got a Patreon.
Okay, go ahead then. Do it.
We need to pay it back afterwards, though, of course. Well then, what's the point of that?
Ai's voice spiked up to a piercing shriek. Calm down, Osawa told her. You're making a scene. Ai turned away in a huff. It's all right, detective, Osawa continued. I'll talk to the bank first thing tomorrow morning and figure something out. At that, I stormed out of the room. Kajiwara bowed his head several times in apology.
Bitches.
As soon as Hitomi had made contact, we'll apprehend the suspect and take things from him there.
What? Hold on, won't that put Maria in danger?
If we let the kidnapper get away with the money, we have no proof that he will return the hostages safely afterwards.
There was a certain logic there Osawa had to concede. I see, he said. So you're saying that catching this guy will be easier for you if he keeps my daughter hostage?
Yeah, pretty much. No. I mean, no, that's not what I was implying at all.
Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his brow and bowed profusely.
And moistly.
Ugh.
At least I promise we'll get your daughter back safe and sound, Mr. Osawa.
Obviously, there was nothing to be gained from further challenging the detectives. All right, then. I'll let the police do their job. Osawa bowed even lower than Kajiwara had.
How long are you going to just loaf around?
I shrieked as she stormed into the room.
Hurry up and arrest this guy.
She was becoming increasingly hysterical. An hour had passed since the suspect had taken the money, and yet the police had made no effort to apprehend him. The police apparently had a rule against discussing an operation before it was fully resolved, and so the Osawas had been left in the dark. But they had overheard the task force talking over the wireless, and it appeared that they were deliberately letting the suspect roam free.
That's a whole ass move.
I know.
Hey!
I snapped again.
If he gets away with our money, you are going to reimburse us, right?
Osawa scowled. She made it sound like the money was more important than Maria's life. The detectives
Damn,
exchanged uneasy glances. All right, are we going to chide her and tell her it's only money, it doesn't matter, or just let her go? I don't like either of these.
Right, which one is not gonna get us killed by eye?
I would personally like to just disappear right now.
Same. Where's the option that says vibes into oblivion?
Yeah, really.
I guess the vibes into oblivion is saying nothing, but if I've learned anything from watching dramas about families and shit, I think the wife hates it more when the husband just stands there and does nothing. So I don't want to get accused of not doing nothing. So yeah, let's just say it's only money, because I think we would get bitch slapped.
All right. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money. It doesn't matter.
Only money? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how much we're talking about here?
The ferocity in her voice left him with no response. He should have known better than to expect her to make sacrifices for his daughters. By now, he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first wife, who'd passed away 15 years earlier. Ai had no blood ties to Maria or Hitomi herself.
Well,
I continued.
are the police going to reimburse us or not?
She glared pointedly at Kajiwara.
Oh no, she's a Karen.
Yeah.
Well,
Right now, we're confused. Well, I mean, focused on making sure Maria's safe.
I stormed up to him, shouting right in his face.
bitch! Stop dodging the question. Answer me. Yes, of course.
Kajiwara squeaked.
Maybe, would you like something to eat to help you calm down?
He held out a banana. I smacked it out of his hand. I cannot, where was his head at?
Holy shit. Oh no, look at that tragic banana. Oh,
We
damn.
need to hold a funeral for it now.
Yes, rip banana. Oh dear. What a waste.
Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. It's got a peel! Like, it just fell on the
No.
floor!
His life just flashed before his eyes.
Osawa went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
Yeah, I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara looking in their direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room.
Strut.
Kajiwara followed after him.
Excuse me, Mr. Osawa?
Yes, what is it? The detective fussed
Mhm.
sheepishly with his hair and forced a smile.
Oh, well, sir, we'd appreciate if you could remain in the living room as much as possible.
Osawa was in no mood to stand on propriety. Look, I've got a ton of work to do, he said. Are you here to tell me to play the role of the grieving father too?
Maybe. I mean, not at all. Personally, I happen to think you're an admirable father, Mr. Osawa.
Admirable? Did the word have a ring of sarcasm?
Maybe.
He had no way to tell if Kajiwara was being forthright with him or not.
Why does he look like Slender Man? And
I know, I hate this picture.
I hate this still so much.
I am pretty sure I've seen a horror movie with this exact.
Right, this exact setup. It's so weird. I'm gonna see Kajiwara in my nightmares now, thank you. You're no ordinary fellow, Mr. Osawa. You're a genius.
A genius? Me? Osawa made a skeptical noise.
Am I mistaken, sir? I mean, you made very important strides in the field of virus research. Or, well, so I've been told.
Osawa wasn't sure how to respond. He'd never considered himself a genius. He was just someone who was more interested in viruses than he was in other people.
Okay. Nerd. I mean, everyone who's a genius is also a little bit odd after all.
Kajiwara went on. Probably he'd intended that as a compliment, but still.
You like bananas? And I mean, there's nothing wrong with weirdos, so long as they leave us ordinary folk alone, you know.
Is this guy trying to praise me or insult me? Osawa let out a heavy sigh. Genius? Weirdo? What did it even matter? So long as he could be left to his work, he didn't care one whit how he looked in other people's eyes. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief.
By the way, what are you working on right now?
He asked. I'm afraid you wouldn't understand even if I explained it to you, Osawa replied.
Damn, girl. I mean, right, precisely. Even if I gave it my full attention, it would still be beyond me.
He peered with sudden intensity at Osawa's face.
I'm only interested in bananas. I'd appreciate if you didn't hide things from me, sir,
he said. Osawa gaped at a loss for words.
This still is also correct.
I know, like, please. We need to hurry up and get off of this one. He is staring into my soul.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Kajiwara added hurriedly.
Goodness, that made it sound like I'm accusing you of hiding something, didn't it?
The detective bowed his head repeatedly.
Maybe. I hope you'll forgive me.
He held
Here,
out the
have a
banana.
banana.
That won't be necessary.
How about this then?
This time he pulled a bar of chocolate from his pocket. It looks like he's already been eating off of it. No,
Ew.
thank you. Did this guy just
Bitch?
carry an endless food supply wherever he went?
I'm a refrigerator secretly.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Kajiwara murmured.
You geniuses really are tough to sort out. Everyone likes chocolate.
He inclined his head, mumbling to himself for a moment.
Mumble, mumble, mumble. What can I get for you then, sir?
What I'd really like is some time by myself. In a daze of exasperation, Osawa felt his way to his study. Locking the door, he finally let out the breath he'd been holding. Then his eyes alighted on the bookshelf next to the wall, or against the wall. I don't know where else you'd put a bookshelf.
Right. The floor.
He pulled out
Oh, look at them!
I know, they're so cute. He pulled out a photo album and began to flip through it. There were pictures of his daughter's grade school enrollment ceremony. Their mother had already passed away from illness, so Osawa had taken the girls himself. He remembered that after the ceremony, Hitomi had come down with a fever. Hitomi had been rather sickly as a girl, falling bedridden at the drop of a hat. Maria, by contrast, had been lively and energetic, quite the handful. Osawa had found it remarkable that their personalities could be so different despite them being twins. He flipped further into the album.
It's a twin thing.
There was a picture of the three of them at their grade school graduation. Maria was looking away from the camera. Osawa felt like someone had stabbed a dagger in his heart. His daughters or virology? Which truly concerned him more? Which did he truly love?
Oh god, do you have to ask yourself?
It was ridiculous to try to compare the two. He'd known the answer
Duh.
even before he asked himself. Even so, human emotions were complicated and sometimes made people act inconsistently. One of the consequences of that was this photo album. This was the last photo he had of Maria. He searched and searched through the rest of the album, but she was nowhere else to be found. And we made it to the to be continued. He is still upset. Not
Yeah.
enough to have a breakdown, though, so we did get somewhere.
Yeah. That's good. Even though our wife chewed us out, that's fine.
That just
Fine.
sounds like a normal everyday occurrence. All right, we ready to do Kano?
Yeah. Let's
Alright.
go not die from drinking things that are not supposed to be drank.
All right, so if you remember correctly,
Drunk.
we've got this guy who we think is hella sus. Are we going to stare him down like we did last time, or are we just going to look away?
Look away. We don't like you. Kano decided to look away nonchalantly. But his anxiety got the better of him, and after a moment, he turned his gaze right back. He's just so pretty. I can't look away. Soon the two men were locked in a staring contest of love.
My apologies.
The sexy man said. He shut his phone with a click.
I know it's rather rude to talk on one's cell phone when you're on a train. That's just common decency.
Oh my god, he's so precious. The man affected a smile, then headed back to the car from which he'd come. Sheesh. Guess I overreacted. Senpai noticed me though, so the
You
bonus
gotta
points.
stop staring at everyone.
Oh my god. An oddly dressed passenger murmured into Kano's ear.
Blend into your surroundings
kinda
more.
Oh my god.
I love him.
Sasayama, when did you get here? His partner had somehow found time to change his disguise. The steely expression on his face was at odds with his anime nerd getup. Kano had seen Sasayama disguise himself as plenty of things throughout the years. But this is where I draw the line. Santa Claus, Yakuza member, Japanese folk singer, and a Buddhist priest, to name a few. But this was a new extreme, even for him. I draw the line at weeb. When he first joined the force, Kano had found Sasayama's costuming antics amusing, wondering where he managed to find these outfits. Probably eBay. But lately, his quirk had become tedious.
Concentrate. Keep your eyes peeled.
Sasayama gave Kano a pat on the backside, and it slipped away into the next car.
We're just gonna give this man a butt pat and then leave. At least we didn't leave him with the burning hammer this time, so,
Oh man. I mean, fan service, I guess. The suspect, he's probably like, oh man, he thick. Anyway, the suspect meanwhile was still staring out the window. It's like that Finding Nemo thing. It's like, oh, he touched the butt.
He touched the butt.
Anyway, the announcer's electronic voice filled the train compartment.
Next stop, Harajuku. Next stop, Harajuku.
Thanks, girl. Huh? Kano almost cried out. The suspect was moving toward the exit door. Apparently, he was only taking the train station down the line. The train pulled into Harajuku Station, and the man got off.
Harajuku, the area east of the Japan Rail Harajuku Station, corresponding to Jingumaya Ichome in Shibuya, once a bustling shukuba or post station where travelers could rest while journeying across the country. In modern times, it bustles instead with high schoolers after school displaying flashy youth fashion. Clothing and accessory stores and fast food restaurants line the streets. Many cutting-edge trends in Japanese youth culture get their start here.
God, I wish that were me.
Harajuku's fun.
The detective... Right... The detectives following him disembarked accordingly. The suspect walked along the platform and took a seat on an empty bench. Was he checking to see if he had a tail? Is he a furry? No, sticking around on the platform at a station where you just got off was pretty unusual behavior. Not wanting to arouse the man's suspicion, the investigators from the MPD made their way down the stairs as inconspicuously as they could. Kano, however, had sudden inspiration and went to speak to one of the station attendants. Sorry to bother you, but I think I left something on the train just now. He tried to keep an eye on the man on the bench as he fed his stories to the attendant. Just smile and wave, please. I'm trying to get this one bitch. The suspect sat silently on the bench, briefcase clutched securely in his arms. He didn't really look like he was checking for a tail. Was he waiting here for someone else then? Maybe his girlfriend? Nope.
Yeah, I'm sure it's his
Probably not.
girlfriend, you know, stolen briefcase, whatever.
Yeah, you never know. Before long, the train heading counterclockwise around the loop arrived. The man rose from the bench and stepped up to the boarding area. Wait, what the heck? If this guy's got the counterclockwise train, wouldn't that just take him right back to Shibuya Station? The man boarded the train. Kano had no choice but to follow suit. Is this guy playing them? Ooh, how exciting.
I know.
The suspect got off the train once the train reached Shibuya. All he'd done was go to Harajuku and come right back. Oh yeah, he's definitely a weep. Kano reported in Takuze. The suspect has returned to Shibuya Station.
Acknowledged. Keep tailing
Oh wait,
him.
that's you.
That's me.
That's you! Okay. Kano felt himself growing increasingly paranoid. I mean, so would I.
Yeah.
If you don't stop at a cafe, like...
I know,
at
like, what's the
Q-Pod,
point?
like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This criminal organization didn't seem too keen on getting away. And here was HQ giving these guys free rein. Something was off. He was sure of that. I'm being hella sus, man. As he told the mark, Kano took out his phone. What were Tateno's instincts about the case right now? If the senior detective had any advice, Kano would love to hear it. He dialed Tateno's number.
Ding, ding, ding. Ring, 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 banana phone.
Yes. The line rang a few times, but nobody picked up. Probably he was too busy saying to Hitomi's safety Like a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Kano felt bewildered. They've been letting suspects lead them around for over an hour now. During an abduction case, yes! Generally didn't update the victim's family on any developments in case they tried to interfere. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Kano could only imagine what the Osawa family was going through right now.
Oh, we know what they're
A
going
broken
through.
marriage.
Yeah,
A broken marriage.
very broken.
Okay. Anyway. After a short walk from Shibuya Station, the briefcase was handed off yet again. This time, the recipient was a tall, dark-skinned man. Again, the Shibuya-based task force split into two groups in order to tail both suspects. Kano stuck with the man who had the case. As the previous man had done, the newest suspect wandered around Dogenzaka for a while, repeatedly looping around and around the same locations was a weird roundabout way to make a series of handoffs.
Excuse me, detective? Oh, sorry. Excuse me,
Mhm.
detective.
Oh,
Wrong voice for that,
hello.
man.
It's that dude! Kano turned around with a start. Oh, hey, he said. I know you. Are you that John Lennon guy? It was Leland Palmer, this lecturer who had been an eyewitness to the kidnapping. The man practically radiated concern.
How is Maria doing? Is she alright? I am very worried for her.
His Japanese was more halting now.
My heart, it is with her family.
Kano gave a quick look around. It didn't appear that they were being watched.
Alright, here's our choice. Are we going to talk to Palmer more? Or are we going to brush him off and say, dude, we gotta keep following this case?
I think... Okay, this is gonna sound terrible.
Okay.
But because he's a foreigner...
Mm-hmm. We're just going to racially profile this man.
I'm so sorry for this time only. This is the only time I would do it. In any other case, I would not do it. But because the pattern of this game seems to be a thing, I'm gonna be like, hella sus. And just be the syndicate spots us, my cover is blown, and we're hosed, and I can't stick around like this.
So we want to not talk to him, or we do?
I think because they said that we're not allowed to tell people, like family members or whatever, or else we're getting in trouble or something, and they couldn't interfere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
So we want to brush him off?
Yeah, we'll brush him off.
Okay.
For now. If the syndicate spots us, my cover's blown. We're hosed. I can't stick around like this. Leland, I'm sorry, but at this stage, I can't share any details.
Is that so? Oh, yes, of course.
Leland cast his eyes down and hugged his head. Sorry, baby. It's not you. It's me. Please don't worry, though. We're still hard at work. Investigating.
Yes. Thank you very much.
With that, Kano turned away from the lecturer and went back to tailing his suspect. I don't trust no hoes. He pulled his phone from his pocket. It was roomy again. Whoo! It was weird that she'd called twice when she knew he was in the middle of something important. Had something happened while she was waiting at the cafe with Shizuo? Did they not get their salad and appetizers?
I know, how dare they?
Damn. What kind of establishment is this? Kano picked up hurriedly. Oh, what's the matter?
What's the matter? You know what the matter is. Oh, It's a masculine voice. What's the matter? You know what the matter is. I'm doing really good on
Rather
these
than
voices today.
Look, you're doing fantastic. I'm proud of you. Rather than Rumi's soft soprano, it was a threatening masculine voice that came over the phone. Uh-oh. Kano felt his whole body stiffen with dread. Is this my father-in-law speaking?
Don't remember being anyone's father-in-law.
The speaker's tone was firm and flat. No, I know. I just, kind of found himself at a loss for words.
So you're dating my daughter, huh?
Yes, sir! Kano barely squeaked out his reply.
Thinking about getting married?
Yes, sir. And speaking of which, I'd love the chance to sit down and have a nice, long...
Then how long are you gonna keep me waiting? Hurry up and get your ass over here.
Oh, how very much Kano wished he could do exactly that. Sir, I would, but...
Forget it.
The words came in an angry huff.
You can't have her. Goodbye.
Oh, fuck. What? Sir, please wait. As Kano cried in desperation, he heard Rumi's voice on the other end of the line.
Dad, you can't just use my phone like that. You were taking too long in the bathroom. Give it back.
Rumi? Kano tried and failed to keep his heartbreak out of his voice. Sweetie, what's wrong?
Sweetie, what's wrong?
Oh wait,
That's me.
Step. Your father just said he doesn't want us to get married.
Dad? What? What did you say to my boyfriend? Listen to you, calling that
on you?
boy little pet names and whatnot. I think you're a little too attached. Daddy, you haven't even met him. That's why I told you to have him come see me. How long is he gonna make me wait?
Girl. Kano listened as the two argued on the other end of the phone. The phone must be lying somewhere between them. Could this get any more awkward? Rumi, I'm sorry. Kano shouted apologetically into the mouthpiece. This is all my fault. Well, not really, because I didn't kidnap nobody. But, you know, please, you don't have to fight like this. The phone clattered as Rumi scrambled to bring it to her cheek.
No, I'm the one who should be sorry.
Sorry for what?
Oh, sorry for what?
Oh, shit. It was Shizu again, grumbling in the background.
You have nothing to apologize for. I'll deal with my father.
Rumi said hastily.
You just focus on your work, sweetie. I know you're in the middle of something really important.
Thanks, Rumi. I love you, girl. Kano was legitimately, like, happy and shit. Kano hung up and went...
Their relationship is, like, weirdly cute, now that we know that she's not fictional.
Right, that's his quote-unquote girl. No,
that's his bae.
That's his bae, his real IRL bae.
Mm-hmm.
Not the 2D kind.
Not the 2D one.
He has an actual bae. Yes. Kano hung up and went back to the task at hand, more determined than ever. For Rumi's sake, not to mention the victims, he needed to focus on cracking this case. Wow!
Nothing about the damn kidnapping victim. It's just like, you know what? In order to meet my father-in-law, we need to crack this case. So, come on, let's hurry it up.
Let's hurry up and catch a criminal so I can go meet my father-in-law and not lose the love of my life.
This is like the same level of self-awareness as when he broke into the cab with Minorikawa and went, this is a life or death situation, when Minorikawa was literally going through a life or death situation. Apparently his love for Rumi knows no bounds.
Oh, it doesn't. Like, he would die for her.
He would
This is
die.
like Tuck everlasting level love.
Like, this
Damn.
is inspiring. Do not fall in love with someone unless they love you like this.
Yes, yes. This Titanic levels. Okay.
Exactly.
The man he was tailing was walking several meters ahead. Yay, the metric system. Whoa.
Yeah, like
Anyway,
the rest of the
there
world.
was no there was no telling when Kuze might give the arrest order. Kano braced himself to spring into action the very instant the order came down.
Mobile command to all units.
Once more, the director's voice came in over the wireless. Was it time to make the arrest at last? God, I hope so, because I'm gonna be late.
We've identified the man who first picked up the briefcase by the statue of Hachiko.
No arrest yet then, but still a crucial development.
His name is Tariq Al-Karawan. He's got priors for larceny, illegal possession of narcotics, you name it. He belongs to a foreign criminal syndicate that's operating in Shibuya.
Kano felt his apprehension rising. Wow, that man looks cursed.
Yeah, very cursed.
If this syndicate was behind the kidnapping, they were anything but amateurs. And though they might be leading the police on a wild goose chase, they certainly weren't playing around.
Yeah.
They're real thugs. Thug life.
Alright, and we have hit our to be continued, which I think means we have finished the 11 o'clock block.
Woohoo! Celebrate good times. Come on.
And now we get to see our
We did it.
preview of the next block.
Oh, hell yeah.
Alright. We have all 5 coming back. Once she's dead, you'll understand. He's right back where we started. Buddy, you're a weirdo. Eels and I are one and the same. Please keep this
Wait,
email a secret. And 12 to 13 o'clock.
Oh, damn.
Are we ready to find out apparently about eels?
Yeah, that's a one-liner, definitely.
Alright, we have
Ooh.
all 5 back. Who do we want to start with?
Let's see. Let's go. You know what? We've been doing so good this
Are we going
Wi-Fi day.
To try to do Minorikawa and hope that your Wi-Fi just doesn't die?
Yeah.
All
let's
right.
just relish the moment.
We're
and
being brave.
if it truly goes down, then we know he's
know.
cursed.
We know he's cursed.
It is confirmation. Alright, Minorikawa stood on the sidewalk, weighing his options. Chiaki's phone call had thrown him for a loop. He had expected her to be anxious about doing interviews, but wow! It was a real basket case.
The hell, man.
Still, that didn't change the fact that he had a schedule of his own to keep. The surveillance camera story had to be his top priority. Chiaki would just have to find some other way to fumble through things on her end. He headed down on Dogenzaka, scanning his surroundings as he went. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
There were cameras set up on the street lights all over the place. There were so many it was hard to believe that he'd never noticed them before. One over there, just one over here. Electronic eyes peering down on passerbys from high above, where they were tougher to spot. That's creepy, yo. Just how were the people who came to Shibuya reacting to this situation? I mean, what if you get a wedgie in public? Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, you there! Minorikawa called to a man riding by on his bicycle. Hey you! Stop! Wow. It's that guy.
It's that guy.
The man brought his bike to the sudden stop.
The man is Taisei Yasuda, proprietor of a knick-knack shop in Udagawacho. Roughly 30 minutes earlier, while he was wandering around the JR tracks picking up lost and abandoned items, Achi foisted off his trash onto him, and so he's in a bit of a foul mood. Since then, he's been going along on his bicycle, still picking up things from the roadside. There's a trunk on the back of his bike where he stores his finds. Huh? What's the matter?
Yes. Hi! The name is Minoru Minorikawa. I'm a freelance writer.
Okay.
I'm just doing interviews for a magazine, and I'd like to talk to you.
A magazine? Which one?
Shonen Jump. I'm 4-star General Gossip. Minorikawa did his best to sound proud.
Oh, well, I'm actually in a bit of a hurry here.
Minorikawa soldiered on. See that? That is a camera. He pointed at one of the nearby surveillance cameras.
What?
The man asked.
The blimp?
Oh my god, you uncultured swine. No, the massive blimp was indeed drifting slowly overhead.
A blimp is a type of aircraft that floats along using the lift provided by an enormous envelope filled with lighter-than-air gas. This envelope, the balloon, is often used for corporate advertising. This particular blimp has been puttering about the skies above Shibuya since last night. It has Ayaka Miki.
Yay! What a treasure! No! The camera! The camera watched them both in an uncaring silence, because everyone knows electronics have no feelings.
Oh, that. What about it?
What do you mean, what about it? Those cameras have been installed all throughout Shibuya. They're taking in anything and everything. Privacy be damned. A shocked pallor came to the man's face.
Oh. Really?
He muttered uneasily to himself.
I guess I should be more careful the next time I go picking stuff up.
Hey, what are you talking about? Minorikawa asked.
Oh, nothing. Just stuff.
Drugs. Way to dodge the question entirely.
Anyhow, I think there's some good things about the cameras too.
Man said hurriedly. Oh, Minoriko asked, such as?
Well, I mean, they must have helped catch some crooks, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Oh, I am?
You're such a smarty pants. I like you. The man looked shocked to have his own statement confirmed. Are you hiding something from me?
Huh? No, nothing in particular.
The man shook his head vehemently.
Nothing at all, really.
Well, whatever, Minorikawa said. In any case, even if the cameras are helping in arresting criminals, there are some places where people just don't want to be watched.
What?
For instance, when you make out with your bae in the alley. How would you like it if someone set up a security camera inside your home?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, a burglar might try to get into your home if you have a security camera. You could be alerted right away.
Isn't that kind of an extreme argument?
Nope. You're the one making an extreme argument here.
What?
The man stared bewildered. You're saying it's okay for folks to film town as much as they might like, but not to take a look inside people's houses?
Yeah, I guess I am.
The man mumbled. Minorikawa snorted. "Yeah, you don't think too deeply about things, do you?" He mocked.
What the hell's
The man
Minorikawa?
huffed in indignation.
We have insulted like everyone we've talked to.
Yeah,
I
Dan-
I don't see the problem.
He said,
I mean, it's a normal enough opinion to want to bring down crime, but also protect privacy.
well, yeah, so?
So if they're just gonna set up cameras around town, I'm okay with that.
Minorikawa grinned inwardly. "You're being naive," he said. "Way too naive."
Naive about what?
By now, the man was getting worked up. "Once you start letting people watch you some of the time, might be, you'll eventually let them do it more and more. And that's how the world works. A simple change in camera angle is all it'll take to steal the last traces of your privacy away."
That's kind of funny coming from you. Doesn't 4-star general gossip get all its scuttlebutt by invading the privacy of others? Since when are you people concerned with personal privacy?
"Meaning what exactly?" Minorikawa asked.
You know damn well what I mean. Have you no shame?
My dignity left a long time ago, girl.
I have no
I've got-
pride.
Right. "I've got nothing to be ashamed about," Minorikawa exclaimed. "If some celebrity scandal breaks, I write it up in the form of a top-class, socially conscious expose. That's Minorikawa's seal of quality." The man rolled his eyes.
Please. As if anyone's ever heard of that.
"Oi, your everyday freelance reporter would say something about how security firms have no right to use cameras to disrupt personal privacy, but not me. Oh no, I'm the only guy who'd write a first-class piece on the subject, and you wanna know why?" The man's only response was a doubtful look. "Because privacy only exists for me to utterly demolish it." Minorikawa finished with a prideful grin.
That's nothing but journalistic arrogance.
The man railed. "Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'd rather have surveillance cameras any day if the alternative is some weird gossip piece.
This time Minorikawa didn't have a handy retort. An awkward silence descended over the pair. Right, I see. Minorikawa muttered to himself as he busily scribbled on his notepad. This poor man is getting
know.
tortured.
It really is.
The man was visibly taken aback. "Thank you for your cooperation," Minorikawa said at last. "You gave me some good stuff." He held up a hand to forestall an angry retort. "I realize I probably got you a bit riled up. You'll just have to forgive me."
What?
The man peered up at Minorikawa in disbelief. "This is just my interview style. Sorry, I know, it's a little unorthodox."
Buddy,
Ah,
you're a weirdo, you know that?
the man said. "Yeah, I hear it a lot." Minorikawa laughed.
So, can I go now?
Sure. I'll quote you as passerby A in my article.
Sure, whatever.
The man muttered. He quickly sped off on his bicycle, as any right human being
Yeah.
would.
Please run.
Run, just get out of here.
If you are a reporter or going into school for journalism, I will almost guarantee this is probably not the way they teach you.
Oh yeah, oh hell no. Please don't do this at home.
Please do not.
Thank you, kid. Thank you, kids. Minorikawa now had some material for his surveillance camera piece. He wanted to organize what he'd managed to put together so far. decided to head towards the next interview location, keeping an eye out for the cafe where he could stop to work on his copy. He used the map included in the project proposal to guide him. It was hard to read the words and make out details, but it looked like the Nokane building, where the Burning Hammer demo was being held. It was just down center guy. There was no indication of which floor the event would be held on, however. That made him a little anxious, but he'd probably be able to find someone to point him in the right direction once he got to the building. Loteria! See, I see you! Oh, sorry. Colabo Cafe! Okay, sorry. Spotted cafe up ahead. Like collaboration? Like collabo? Maybe. I don't know. Oh no, girl. Coffee, please! Shouted as he strode inside. He slumped down in an open chair. Hopefully he'd be able to hole up in here until 1 o'clock working on his article. If he couldn't have it done by then, finishing the whole issue by the end of the day would be a tall order. Like the tall grande that he ordered. Okay. He pulled a cigarette from his overcoat as he waited for the computer to boot up. No! Don't smoke, children! Anyway. Having smoke was Minorikawa's little trigger for going into writing mode.
Writing mode, the state of being in a mood to write some text. As Minorikawa goes about his job, he switches between writing mode, interview mode, food mode, and sleep mode. When busy, he'll sometimes go into writing mode and food mode at the same time, sometimes even strain into sleep mode in the midst of food mode. When he's even busier, he'll eat and write mid-interview while nodding off. This is known as ultimate mode.
Hot damn. That's so oddly specific. Damn. Okay. He stuck the cigarette in his mouth and lit it up. So light it up, like a fire. Okay. With his first heavy draw of smoke, he felt his mind focus. The rough idea of the article came to his head nearly fully formed. All he needed to do now was get it all written down. It's gonna be that SpongeBob episode where he just wrote the,
Yeah, I know.
but fancily. Finally, his laptop finished booting up. Took you long enough, pal, he muttered to the computer. Computer can't talk back.
Nah.
His hands leapt to the keyboard like a predator pouncing on his prey. It's feisty. In a matter of moments, he had his stride. His fingers clicked away. One by one, lines of text filled up his screen. A waitress stepped up beside him.
Excuse me, sir.
But Minorikawa was in writing mode. He didn't even hear her.
Sir? Sir, I beg your pardon.
Again, Minorikawa was deaf to the waitress's attempts to get his attention.
Sir, excuse me.
The waitress smacked the table. Quiet! Minorikawa snapped. He slammed the table right back. Don't interrupt me when I'm working. None of you know what's good for you. The waitress gave no shit.
Yeah.
The waitress didn't so much as flinch. She leaned in aggressively, getting right in Minorikawa's face. Like a queen!
The waitress is Ikumi Omiya. She's an employee at Collabo Cafe. While appearing cute and demure at first glance, she's quite strong-willed and frightening when angry. She works nights at a place called the Scolding Pub, where customers rent private rooms in which they are scolded at length by attractive girls. One middle-aged businessman once told her, "Your face looks simply marvelous when you're angry."
Oh my god.
Sir, I hate to bother you, but I have to ask you to please refrain from smoking.
Minorikawa blinked. Huh?
This is a non-smoking establishment, sir.
No smoking? Minorikawa asked. The cigarette bobbed in his mouth as he spoke. The waitress pointed sharply to the sign on the wall. Oh shit. The words no smoking were spelled out clear as day.
We ask that patrons please not smoke so that other customers can fully enjoy the aroma of their coffee.
The waitress drew herself up in an arrogant triumph. The woman sitting at the table next made a face as she tried to fan the smoke away with her hands. Customers all around the shop were glaring at him. Oh shit. You guys don't know the first thing about the aroma of coffee, Minorigawa scoffed. The scent of the coffee only truly comes to life amidst the choking stench of tobacco smoke. Waitress's only response was to jab her finger again.
This man cannot be wrong.
Right. But this time, she didn't point at the sign. She pointed it to the door. Oh, like a queen.
Sir, if you're going to smoke, please take it outside. Bitch.
I'm so proud of her. Sometime later, sitting inside the cafe, Latre, Minorikawa lit up his third cigarette. At last, a safe refuge. It had taken him quite some time to find a place that allowed smoking, after he got kicked out the first cafe.
In recent years, many cafes and restaurants have phased out the concept of the smoking section in favor of prohibiting smoking across the board. This makes a place like L'Autre especially important to smokers. There are large air vents in the ceiling to keep the interior more agreeable for those who do not smoke.
After he got kicked out of the first cafe, now he was in a rush to make up for lost time. Or it's called just freaking put the freaking cigarette away and don't smoke so you don't waste time, you little bitch. Okay, anyway. His fingers flew over the keyboard at lightning speed. The more he wrote, the harder he focused. At this rate, he'd have the story wrapped up in no time. Clickety clack clack. Click.
Today, you hear me?
Voice intruded suddenly on his awareness. One of the other customers was shouting.
You're breaking up with that fellow today.
Minorikawa's fingers drifted to a halt.
Hey, I think it's Dad and Doomy.
Oh shit! He looked around to see where the voice had come from. An older man, red in the face, was shouting to a young woman sat across from him.
Please, Dad?
Well, the woman pleaded.
Stop! You're making a scene!
Ah, a father and daughter then. Cute. It was fair nowadays to see a father behave so imperiously towards his own daughter. Just how sheltered he had been to try keeping her. Minorikawa couldn't see her face from where he was sitting, but his interest was piqued because he's a nosy bitch.
All right, do we move to another seat where we can look, or do we focus on our article?
Well, I think we should focus on the article because I feel like if we don't get it on time, people gonna die. So.
All right.
No, he reminded himself that he needed to finish the article. Besides, if this young lady looked anything like her father, he'd just as soon pass.
I don't think
went back.
She was worried about dating him. But thanks.
Right. What the hell, man? Minorigawa went, ew, no. Back into typing. Took a few minutes to re-establish his writing group, with two still bickering across the room. But thankfully, he soon resigned his focus. What's that? His hands went still as a strange noise intruded on his reverie. That's a fancy word, reverie. Whatever it was close by. What in the world is that sound?
All right. Do we need to get to the bottom of this, or we'll never be able to concentrate, or are we gonna finish our article?
We'll finish the article. Cause yeah, Well, never mind. I need to focus on finishing this article. Minorikawa tried to immerse himself in his writing again. Before long, he stopped worrying about the curious sound. Time passed. Eventually, the pace of his writing slowed down a bit, and Minorikawa glanced at his watch. It was later than he thought. That's a fancy watch. Also, damn, his shirt is so fancy too.
It is very
Pretty-
loud.
Like, look at that. Pretty soon, he was going to have to head over to get an interview from the diet drink people. He reached into his bag for his project proposal to double check on the demo location. Huh? The proposal it is. Whoa, it's gone. Crap, where the heck did it go? He checked all around the table, but he didn't see it anywhere. Maybe he'd left it in the other cafe, the non-smoking place. Oof. Well, he didn't have time to go back for it now. Oh, damn. His phone rang. What now? Minorikawa snapped as he answered. A tiny squeak came through the receiver. It was followed by the sound of sniffling sobs.
I'm sorry, I just...
Jackie. Was she done with her interviews, maybe?
It's no use. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard I try.
Her voice broke up in further sobs. Girl, did you even try? Oh, come on. This again? Really?
I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me. Just please let me go home.
Oh, wow. Minoriko was already operating on a too tight schedule. He didn't have time to worry about Chiaki on top of it all. Look, just slow down, take a breath. Try and keep it at it a little longer. He should have seen this coming when he first called her. Her shyness was practically pathological. But if he cut her loose now, all his frustration would be for nothing.
But I can't do it.
Chiaki whined again.
Please, just forget you ever called me.
Oh, damn. She hung up before Minorikawa could get another word in. He tried calling her back, but she didn't pick up. Damn it, Chiaki! Don't you dare bail on me! Leaving money on his coffee, for his coffee on top of the table, Minorikawa jumped up and bolted for the cafe. Damn! Wow, I can read. The plaza outside Shibuya Station was crowded as ever. Minorikawa looked around, but there was no sign of Chiaki. She bailed. Minorikawa dropped to his knees in despair.
Sir, you are still on your feet.
No! His last hope had gone up and left. There was no one else he could even ask. Damn it. Alright, then fine. I'll do it myself. He dragged himself back to his feet. Wow. Alright. Listen up, he shouted at the passing crowd. He's really doing this. I'm doing street interviews here, starting now. You guys, shut up and help me.
Oops.
I mean, don't shut up and help me. He wound up blowing way too much time just getting 2 pages worth of content, leaving himself unable to finish the other articles. In the end, the issue of 4-star general gossip never made it to the newsstands, and Heaven Publishing went down for the count. Ooh.
Well, that was nice and cheery. Alright, bad end, number 23. Chiaki calls it quits. Without Chiaki,
Damn it, yeah.
Minorikawa just couldn't get the gossip finished in time. What made her run off, though? Chiaki shows up in Kano's story at 12:10. One of the decisions there is ultimately what put her over the edge. All right. Do we want to do one more, or do we want to call it quits for tonight?
I think it's a good place to end, actually, because, like, if we start one now, it's gonna get incredibly late.
Yep. All right, so we will end here for tonight then. Next stream is tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, like we have been doing, and we will continue on then. I don't have anything else to say, considering the fact that we are going to see you guys in less than 24 hours again. But have a good night. Wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
YOLO!
Bye.
Bye.